So yesterday we were discussing about a wheel. So there are so many advancements which are being done as the things are being many things are being introduced. So even there is an advanced technology. Even we have been more advanced in the usage of wheels also. So in the earlier days, wheels were being made out of rocks, and even wheels were also being made out of wooden blocks. As we have seen in this picture, the people they are carrying the wooden logs they are utilizing in the form of wheels. They are pushing the heavy objects. So as the time passed, more advancements took place and the wheels were being changed. So this is a wheel which is being used in rovers which were being sent in other planets according to the surface. So naturally the surface of other planets will be very rocky. So in order to just move on those places, this wheel was being designed. This wheel is designed in such a way in order to overcome the rocky areas. And now, coming to the lesson of simple machines, there are different types of simple machines which we are using nowadays. So, these are a list of simple machines on your screen. So, we are utilizing lever, pulley, wheel and axle, inclined plane, wedge, and a screw. So we are going to learn in detail about all of these. We are going to learn in which all these are being used. Why all these things are being used? Why simple machines are being used in our daily life? In order to ease our living, in order to make it easy, the usage of things, different types of things, we are using all these. So let us have a look at the simple machine. Just a second, children. So now further talking about a pulley. So in a pulley, again we can see a wheel which has been arranged in a pulley. So pulley is also a simple machine. It consists of a wheel which has a fixed axle. Axle is nothing but it's a rod which is fixed in between the wheel. So this rod makes the wheel easy to move, and the rope is being used. It's used as a cable. We just pull a bucket filled with water. So you can see this in this image. It's being used to pull the water from well. So, and here another function of wheel and axle is it's been used in cars, modern transportation. It's been used in cars, it's been used in trucks, so many things like trains. These wheels are being used. So if we go in detail about the structure of this wheel and axle, on which principle does it work? A wheel and axle is made up of a circular frame. The wheel is rigidly attached to a rod or a pole. You can see in this picture. When the wheel is rotated, the axle also rotates. For example, train wheels and car wheels. Another example of this wheel and axle is here is have a look at this, a car. Another example of it is a doorknob. A doorknob is used to rotate to open the door. Do you use a doorknob to open the door? In some doors, it uses a doorknob. Just you'll unlock the door, you'll open it. So this doorknob also works on the same principle of wheel and axle. So let us have a look at this few simple machines.
Today, we'll learn about simple machines. Simple machines have been used by people for many years. Let's have some fun. Come on. Pretend that you're living in this world thousands of years ago. As a caveman. You live in this cave. The rock is covering the entry gate of your cave. How would you move it? There's a stick. Try moving it with the stick. Oh, you failed again. Most of the scientists say people invented simple machines many years ago to make their work easier. A big rock or a very heavy weight can be moved using a simple machine, an inclined plane. Simple machines are very basic mechanical devices for applying strength and performing work. Let's see 6 different kinds of simple machines. Wheel and axle. It makes work easier by moving the objects across distances. The wheel turns with the axle causing movement. An example is your skateboard. Inclined plane. It is a flat surface that is inclined, so it can help move objects across distances. This slide is also an example of inclined plane. Wedge. A wedge is a triangular-shaped tool and is a portable inclined plane. It can be used to separate 2 objects, lift up an object, and hold an object in place. An axe blade is an example of a wedge. Screw. A screw has a long, thin metal shaft with threads spiraling along its length. It also has a turning head with a groove where a screwdriver can be used to rotate the screw. It can be used to lift things or to hold things together. Lever. A lever is simply a plank or ridged beam that is free to rotate on a pivot. It is perfect for moving or lifting heavy things. Pulley. A pulley is simply a wheel with a groove in it and a rope in the groove. It is used to lift up or lower heavy objects. With the help of the pulley system, rock climbers can climb steep rock surfaces easily. Here's a chart of various simple machines. Wheel and axle. Inclined plane. Wedge. Screw. Lever. Pulley. Now you know a lot about simple machines.
Wheel and axle. A wheel and axle is made up of a circular frame, which is called as the wheel, rigidly attached to a rod or a pole, the axle. When the wheel is rotated, the axle also rotates. So we will see the example of this. If an object needs to be moved across a ground that has a rough surface, the most efficient way to move the object is to roll it along. Wheels help to move an object across the ground because it cuts down on the amount of friction between the object and the surface it is against. The axle is the part that attaches the wheel to the object. So here you'll come across a word called the friction. So I'll tell you what friction is. Just a second. So we'll do an experiment over here. So I have just given you the pictures of a notebook which is kept on a table. So when you just try to push the notebook, then what happens? Do it moves easily? Do the book move easily?
Yes, ma'am.
Just try to push it, but only to a certain extent. It will move and then it will stop. It won't move like a football. If you just try to move it, it will go to a long distance. Just try to keep a football and a book. And now just try to put equal amount of force. Try to push them with equal amount of force, both the things. So which moves faster?
Football.
Football.
Ball. Yes, ma'am.
Why? What is the reason?
Ma'am, because it is round shape, ma'am.
Yeah.
The
Why?
is not sphere shape or circle shape, but the ball is like a
Sorry, I'm
circle shape,
unable
so
to
it
hear
can
you,
move.
Lasya. I'm unable to hear you.
Not only her, not only ma'am. Anyone can't hear her.
Okay. Anyone else? Why? What is the reason why a ball can move easily rather than a book? Yes, Hanan, Anya
Ma'am,
Murthy.
Ma'am, because it's
ma'am, can you hear?
Yes, Azmina.
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, can you ask the question again?
can you hear me, guys?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Ma'am, can you say the question again?
Yes, sure. If we just push a ball and a book with equal amount of force, which moves faster and why? What is the
Ma'am,
reason?
because football is like a circle. Ma'am, because a football is like a circle shape and it can move easily.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
No, ma'am, book has friction and
Now
football doesn't have
yeah,
friction.
I will tell you the reason why. The amount of the surface, the amount of the thing, the ball, amount of it, it is not touching the surface. Rather than a book is touching the surface, touching the ground completely, whereas the surface area of the ball it's in the form of a circle. It's not touching
Yes,
completely
ma'am.
to the ground, only a less part of it is touching the ground. So the amount of force which is acting upon it, like the force which is acting from the ground to stop it, is less. The frictional force will stop the book to move further, because the amount of the surface, the book is touching the surface more rather than a ball. A ball has less frictional force, with or less frictional force will be acting on a ball rather than a book. So that is the reason. Here you can see, to stop a moving object, a force must act in the opposite direction to the direction of motion. So naturally, the frictional force will be acting
Ma'am, your voice
against
is
you.
low.
My voice is low. I guess there's a
No, ma'am,
problem
it's
from your
okay.
side.
It's okay.
No, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am, it's okay.
So always a force will try to stop you. A force will try to stop any object from moving. That is the frictional force. If the shape of that object is designed in such a way like a football, where its where its body is touching the ground surface very less, its surface area is very less, which is not perfectly touching the ground, then can easily move. Same, it is in the case of a wheel. Even in the a wheel can easily move, isn't it? Because of its structure. Only a less amount of it is being touching the ground. It can easily move. Okay. But there is more amount of force you need to apply to stop it, isn't it? It is in the case of, for example, a bicycle. You need to apply more amount of force, like a brake you need to put on to stop a bicycle whenever you're moving from a slope, isn't it? You need to apply more amount of force to stop that. So here, the force to push, the force of the push moves the book as the book slides across the decks. Now, you just do one thing. Put a pencil beneath the book. Now try to push the book. Now what happens?
Ma'am, it will move.
It will move easily. I'll just try and show you. I just use this marker or this pencil I have in my hand. I'll just put a book here and I just try to move it. Let's see what happens. I'll just show it to you. Can you all see? this book? Can you all see
No,
this
ma'am.
pencil? Can you all see this?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, only pencil.
No, ma'am, it's black. Or screen.
A pencil you can see?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now
Yes, sir.
I'm just keeping this book upon this pencil, and now I'm trying to move this. So it's easily moving. It's moving easily. Look,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So I'll even show you a video because it's really tough to just hold this cam at one place. So you can do this. Just do this now.
Ma'am,
Just do this now.
ma'am, can I show you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to do.
Yeah, try to do it.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am, I'll show you. Ma'am, can you see this pen?
Yes.
That
Try
I'm
to do
taking
it,
of it.
everyone. Let's see.
See,
Easy
ma'am, it
or
is
it's
going.
very tough to move a book without a
It is
pencil
going
and
so
with a
easily.
pencil.
Okay, ma'am.
To
Did you
what
see, ma'am?
extent? Yeah. Yeah. Use two books. One book without pencil and one book with pencil. Try to move it. Which one is easy to move?
I'm going to show.
Pencil book only, ma'am.
With pencil. Why? Because a pencil is also, it tries to roll easily. A pencil rolls easily. Whereas the book without a pencil, it just very tough for a book to move without a rolling pencil.
Ma'am, while pushing this book, we have to keep more force.
More force.
Yeah.
So the frictional force will try to stop this book, which is without pencil. So let us have a look at this. You all can see the screen. So here we are going to read about the rolling force. We are going to look about the rolling force. So which force will be there? Which force will be acting? Helps a pencil to roll easily. So there's a rolling friction. When an object rolls over a surface, the force needed to overcome the rolling friction is much less than needed to overcome the sliding friction. Now the sliding friction is different and rolling friction is different. The friction is a force which will try to stop an object. Even we can even give an example of a surface where when you're moving, usually your elders will try to
Ma'am,
guide you whenever on this marble floor. On a marble floor, clean marble floor will be easy for you. You have the grip. Whereas if you pour some water on this marble floor, what will happen? Can
Ma'am,
you?
nothing. Just sit
You will
down.
fall down. Yeah, you will slip. You'll fall down. Why this happen? Because water creates less friction. Water removes the friction. It doesn't have any friction. That is why we don't have grip over the ground. Frictional force stops you from falling down. Whereas if the surface contains some water or oil, then you may lose your grip and you may slip down, or there might be not be any friction. So what is friction, children?